Yo, man, welcome back to the channel, man. Welcome back to the channel. Look, I apologize for my sporadic drops, but we right back, man. I'm back to the daily drops, man. I'm gonna drop an explanation video later, but we back to the daily drops. So let's go, man. We going out to Texas today. We talking about Texas, Frisco, Texas. That is. Texas teen athlete fatally stabbed after confrontation at track meet. They charged that young boy with first degree murder, man. Let's look at it and let's talk about it a little bit, We don't pass no judgment though. Let's go.
Thank you for joining us tonight. First up, a star athlete in Frisco, Texas, killed after getting stabbed after a confrontation with another student. Tonight, another student is in custody as well. Here's what we know so far. 17-year-old Austin Metcalf was at ULI championship track meet Wednesday morning. According to investigators, 17-year-old Carmelo Anthony was allegedly told Metcalf was sitting in the wrong seat when he pulled out a knife and stabbed Metcalf in the heart. His twin brother tried to save him, but he later died at the hospital. Tonight, Greg Dupree of TLAC Now has more on the case. But first, we hear from the victim's father, who says he has forgiven his son's alleged killer already and shared his last words to his son. Here's a report from Fox.
He was going to turn out to be a great individual and impact this world with positivity.
17-year-old Austin Metcalf was voted MVP of the Frisco Memorial High School varsity football team. The linebacker held a near-perfect GPA and was in the National Honor Society.
He was on the right track. He was doing everything right. I was so proud.
Jeff Metcalf never imagined that his son's future would be cut short.
I'm still in shock.
Wednesday morning, Austin Metcalf was at a District 11 5A track meet at Kirkendall Stadium. Around 10 a.m., Frisco police say 17-year-old Carmelo Anthony stabbed Metcalf in the chest after some sort of fight. Jeff Metcalf says it was Austin's twin brother, Hunter Metcalf, who tried to save him.
And his brother was holding him, trying to hold the blood in, and he passed. My son watched his brother die in his arms.
It's unclear how Anthony got the knife into the meat or what exactly led up to the fight. Anthony is now facing first-degree murder charges, and Jeff Metcalf
It was the best weekend ever.
is only left with memories.
I was able to watch and be blessed so much. To having both my sons are amazing.
When Jeff Metcalf was diagnosed with cancer 9 years ago, his boys were his strength. Now cancer-free, it's his faith that's keeping him strong.
And when I kissed his forehead today, as his body was cold, and I ran my fingers through his hair, I told him it's not goodbye. It's see you later. I'll join you at some point too, son. You just beat me to this place.
Wednesday night, the family's church opened its doors for the community to gather for a prayer vigil to honor a young man whose life touched so many.
But I know he's with the Lord. And I take comfort and peace in that.
Amelia Jones, Fox News.
Right here in Frisco, where I live. And to be honest, this is uncharacteristic of this community, and as a tragedy nonetheless. And just something like this can happen anywhere. But from what I've been able to gather is that there was some type of dispute at this track meet, which I guess neither one of these kids were participating in, and it was an altercation or a disagreement over a seat. And I guess a argument ensued, and Anthony pulled out a knife and stabbed the young man to death.
And
Right.
it's understanding that he witnessed all of this, his twin brother, which is like a part of him,
Right.
being murdered.
Right. Yeah, Austin Metcalf's twin brother was right next to him, and he said that, by the time his brother had been stabbed and he turned around to see what had happened, it was too late. He couldn't do anything to save him, other than just hold him until he passed away. It's a very sad thing to happen, to lose your brother, especially a twin brother, just like that in a moment, in a blink of an eye.
And of course, this story has caught the nation's attention What is it like there in your area after this occurred there? What are people saying? Are they in shock as well?
Oh yeah, the whole community is shocked. They're, reevaluating security procedures in place at these high school events.
Greg, what we had here was a simple disagreement, a simple argument. How can it elevate to something like this where you're accused of stabbing someone to death
Well,
at such a young age? Those victims very young.
Well, I don't think it's as much as the argument of what the argument is about. I think it's where we are today and where our children are today. There is an extreme level of violence being perpetrated by a lot of these younger kids. Isaiah, we did the show last week on the 764 and that cult and how violent that cult is. And it's all involving young kids. It's just where we are. The level of violence being displayed by these kids today is unheard of, but I don't want to say it's a new normal, but it appears to be. You got everything going on from incidents like this to kids killing their parents. It's nothing.
What do you think is contributing to this, and what can be done about this? Obviously, if you are a parent, that hasn't been murdered by your child, because we recently had a case where a young man in the northern part of the United
States. That level of aggression where they become a threat to you or anyone else.
Man, that's serious though. That's serious. But look though, you see, like in my opinion, when I first heard the story, it was that the young African American male, the young black boy, he was participating in the track meet, and the other guys was bullying him and told him he couldn't be under the tent, but they wasn't even in participating in the track meet, but they were some known football stars at the school or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So. It's always two sides to every story. It's more than two sides to a story because, there's a lot of people there and people witnessed it. People heard about it. People witnessed it firsthand, secondhand. People heard about it. Stories changed by the minute. You know what I'm saying? You know how they used to tell you, we're going to play this little game and everybody, I'm going to say this, but then by the time it get over there, it's something else. You know what I'm saying? So I found this on Facebook. I wanted to share. So let's check this out. And it's just another side of the story, you know what I'm saying, that people might want to present. You get what I'm saying? So let's take a look at it. So see if I can blow it up a little bit. It ain't getting bigger, but it says if you can see it, hold on. All right, so it's a the truth about Carmelo. Let's set the record straight. Enough with the misinformation. Let's talk about the facts. It's normal for students from different schools to gather under another school's tent. Carmelo had friends there. He wasn't trespassing or looking for trouble. The claim that one of the twins never seen Carmelo before, a blatant lie. No student has the right to remove another student from a school-owned tent. The school owns the tent, not the twins. Carmelo is a track athlete. The twins are not. He wasn't even expecting to see them there. Now here's what they don't want you to know. The twins didn't just ask Carmelo to leave. They tried to jump him. Before attacking him, they tried to take his belongings. They broke his phone, stomped on it. The twins are known bullies. So you ask yourself, if two 200-pound plus attackers came at your child, what would you expect them to do? And yet, despite everything, the media is trying to destroy Carmelo's name. They keep posting a picture of him with an airsoft gun, not even a real firearm, to manipulate the public perception. Why? Because they want to paint him as a criminal instead. So, let's talk about who Carmelo really is. A respectful, well-mannered young man, a 4.0 student with multiple college offers, a kid with zero criminal history, not even a blemish, a son raised in a loving home by parents who taught him right from wrong. So, I get what she's saying when she's talking about painting the picture, because it was wild how they, talk to the daddy about cancer, having cancer and all of that, when This is supposed to be about a fight, a murder that happened at a fight, you know, but you talking about counsel, so you trying to appeal to the public's heart, you know what I'm saying? And I don't care what people say, man. When they select them juries, man, them people done heard of these cases, man. They done heard of some of these stories, man. I don't believe that they ain't never heard of this, man. So they already trying to paint that young man as he guilty, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not here to say if he guilty or not, you know, but I will say this, you know what I'm saying? He have brought a knife to a track meet? Nah. But kids that go hunting and stuff every day, they got pocket knives in their pocket every day, so we can't say that, you know. Should he have protected himself if he was being bullied? Yeah, maybe. Did he take it too far? Who is to say? You can't say how. It's one thing I like to tell people. You can't judge how a person is going to react based off of what you did to them. You can't dictate the level of their reaction based off of something that you've done to them, you know. But what I will say is this is a good learning experience. This is a good time for parents to talk to our kids about bullying, about being victims of bullying, and also about being perpetrators of bullying. And, you know, there is pictures of Carmelo with these two guys that are on the internet, and they're out there. So they had some type of familiarity with each other, and they did know each other. And there's a lot of talk on the internet that said that this kid is a known bully. But did he deserve to die because he's a known bully? No. Did Carmelo deserve to be bullied if Carmelo was bullied? No. So this is what I'm saying. This is a good time to talk to our kids about bullying and about being victims of bullying, being perpetrators of bullying, and how to handle things the right way. You know, it's a good time to talk to our kids about respect for another person, respect for other people, because right now, man, we living in the age where our kids, they out here wilding out. They just going crazy. They losing their mind. They doing whatever they want to do, and they feel like it's no consequences. They really think that they living in GTA. But then by the time they realize that it's consequences to their actions, it's too late. They either dead, in jail, seriously injured, or put themselves in a predicament that they can't get out of. And this is something that we have to stop. So let's talk to our kids about bullying, man, because this ain't right. This is a bad situation, and I pray for all the families that's involved, for real, for real. This ain't even a video where I'm finna be on her playing or none of that. So I pray for these families, man, that's all involved, man. You know, I pray that Carmelo can find some peace, man. But in my opinion, is this murder? First degree murder? Nah, man. Probably some manslaughter or something like that, you know, because he did what he did, you know, but he might, or either self-defense, you know. But I just don't think that the crime fits the charge. But let me know what y'all think, man. That's just my opinion on it. I'm 618C's. I'm out, man. If ain't nobody told you they love you, you already know I love y'all, man. I'm out.